Please no horns.
My recording took like 2-3 seconds to start, so I didn't want to say anything. Like I wanted to unleash the horns as soon as the red light came up.
What do you mean? It took 2 or 3 secones to start.
Oh, it's at like 12 now, but it's good. We're fine. It's just the computer is like waking up today.
Oh no, that means that the sinks. I'm gonna have to fuck with the sink.
By like 2-3 seconds, we'll be fine.
Yeah, but I hate it. That's why I timed it like the way that I do, because then I can just drop them in on top of each other and it's all good. I don't have to touch anything. It's the worst. Listen, if I can save myself like 5 seconds of editing, I will. Anyway I can.
Yeah, well, just it's all efficiency, man. That's all it is. It's just you being super efficient. You're just the greatest editor of all time.
No, that's not true at all.
Oh my lord!
There's something going on with your fucking microphone, or what?
Why? What's
I've
wrong?
heard like this weird fucking noise coming out
Just
of it.
then?
Last couple of times. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh.
Like on my.
Oh, that was me drinking coffee.
I don't know if it's. I guess no. No, it wasn't that. Yeah. All right. It's all good. We'll see if it's there in the footage.
Okay. All right. Is you gonna run this intro, man, or are we gonna?
Yeah. Well. I don't know. Did you want? This is your last chance to do your horns that I don't want to hear, but I feel like I'm depriving you of something that's really important to you. So
No, that's fine. That's fine. We could let the horns
No?
go.
No
let
horns?
the horns go. For now. For now.
Oh, you sound so depressed.
No, it's fine. Horns. The horns will be there.
All right. Welcome to NULLSCORE, a podcast where we desperately try to stick to a schedule that is becoming increasingly difficult for us to do because when you're an adult, real life has a way of constantly interfering with your hobbies. My name's Jim, and this is my co-host, Hectic Habib. How's the VL Turbo running, man?
Hectic Habib. Good, dude. Good. Spools up real quick. Easy mode. It is not quite as big a week, Jim, and like we made jokes last week about incentivizing us uploading late, but I think today is no greater as an example because we had a big bit of news come out, but it's like half of it. It's like half the news. This business with Doc. Have you seen what's going on?
Yes. If you try to go to his channel, it isn't there anymore. It's the same. You get the same page basically as when Ninja left and they just nuked his fucking channel.
So it's not like a. Okay, but
it's not
right.
there.
But this is also the same screen that you get for a ban.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's sorry, unless you got a time machine, that content's unavailable. That is also a ban description.
When I looked earlier, maybe they've changed it, but when I looked earlier, it would have been about an hour or so ago. It said the page you're looking for is in another castle or something like that. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh,
like this is the Ninja message.
Is it? What is it? It's Dr. Disrespect, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Disrespect.
You can't search him, but if you go to his Twitter, you can click the link. Like you can click the link to it. And
yeah, I just punched his URL in directly. But that's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, while Doc's gone. Or his stream is missing, and nobody knows why. Twitch released a statement of sorts that said that they're acting on allegations and whatnot with immediate effectiveness, but I don't think the doc had any claims alleged. God damn, didn't have any claims levied against him. I thought he was fine.
Not publicly anyway.
Okay.
So someone could have, just sent a bunch of screenshots and email to Twitch staff.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, he did have that thing where he had the whole doc
with his
doc CD.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, I'm a big fan of the doc and what he does. So I'd be pretty disappointed if this came out that something was, actually a big issue. I really hope that it turns out to be something. It doesn't turn out to be anything, but that's kind of
Dude, that seems like I don't know. Very, very sudden.
Yeah.
No
Well,
explanation.
that's what's quite so weird about it, right? Is because
they don't normally do that.
well, that's the thing. It's incredibly unusual.
Well, actually, hang on just for a second. So think about all the other like bigger streamers who get banned. Usually they're the ones sharing the email from Twitch or whatever reason.
There's usually
like
a big
it's not usually
fanfare
Twitch
about
coming out and saying, "Yeah, we banned this person because this reason." Like they don't do that. They email them privately.
In fact, they get shit for not doing that. That's like one of the biggest things that people criticize Twitch for is their lack of clarity.
Yeah. So Doc's reasonably private, I think, like for a lot of in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
In regards to his stream. So he might not release that email. He might not do what a lot of other streamers do, where they're like, Twitch banned me because of this. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks or whatever. He might not do that. He might have a ban that's only a few days or 2 weeks or fucking whatever, and he might not say anything about it until he comes back or he announces that he's going somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy to think because there's like a couple of things that make that really strange for me. One is like, even if this was like a strange publicity stunt sort of thing, right? This is absolutely the wrong social climate to make that move. Like, after the whole friggin' Twitter storm that we've had the past few weeks, this is a bad time to make a play like that, right? People are automatically going to make assumptions, and that's going to hurt your brand.
Yeah, I doubt it is. I doubt it is that.
Yeah, and the other thing...
No, there's no way.
Yeah, it's just... I don't know. I mean, look... we'll have to see. We'll have to see what it is. Because the other thing as well is he just signed an exclusivity agreement with Twitch, something like 2 years or something.
In March or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago, a couple months ago.
And it was like, it wasn't like money to sniff at either. So I wonder what it is that's affected that relationship to such a degree. But, you know, we can sit here and speculate all day. But yeah, it's just strange. It's just so strange. Like you see all these patterns usually with people getting banned. Like you say, streamers will often cause a huge ruckus about it, or they'll, you know, put a message up and move on. Like, I mean, XQC is pretty classic for it. He's had a whole bunch of like day-long bans the past day. And that's another thing as well, is like XQC's up there insofar as the doc's concerned, like with the golden children of Twitch. And XQC is always quite upfront. It's usually well publicized. Whereas with the doc, it's just nada. You know?
Well, the other thing is if he just stays quiet about it, it might actually cause more of a stir.
Yeah, it could be another PR move.
Well, remember he's what he did in college, marketing of some sort. Like he knows how to sell himself. So I feel like everything he's doing is very like well thought out when it comes to this sort of thing. Like he doesn't get emotional and then, you know,
he doesn't do shit without thinking.
Start posting shit on Twitter. Like, he doesn't do that.
It's interesting. I don't know. It's so, the only way I can really describe it is weird. It just feels weird, and not in the same way that it like feels weird reading all of these statements coming out. It's just strange.
I went to a few different sites this morning, and they're all giving the same, like, they've all been given the same very cookie cutter response from Twitch. Yep. As is our process, we take appropriate action when we have evidence that a streamer has acted in violation of our community guidelines or terms of service. These apply to all streamers, regardless of status or prominence in the community.
Alinity.
Like, come on now, Twitch. Yeah, come on now. Don't. Look, Doc has a penis, so we have to like.
The rules are the same for everybody. Let's not consider the body of evidence to the contrary.
I mean, look.
Let's consider the body of the streamer.
It blows my mind, right? Like, they could genuinely have ethically responsible people that are running the mod team, right? And it could very well have changed. But the fact of the matter is, you can't turn around and say, man, we treat everyone with the same fucking approach. It's like, no, there's clear matchups between, like, Alinity and other people. And, like...
Andy Pyro got a 2-week ban. Did you see that? He got a 2-week ban for being reported for filming in a restrooms, like the doc did.
Yeah.
He wasn't in a restroom. He was in a locker room. He went go-karting, and there's like a locker room where you can put your stuff like while you go go-karting. There's no toilet.
Yeah, but you don't get undressed or anything.
No, you don't. So
because go-karting, they would just give you like overalls or something. Like
they don't even do not here. They don't even do that here. They just say like you have to wear pants.
Yeah, but
we prefer you wear long sleeve shirts. But
yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like if they had to provide clothing, I feel like a go-karting place would just give you overalls and a helmet, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
Like I think more often than not, they'll just be like, "Yeah, go on, get in there with your Vans and your jeans. Who cares?"
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's like it's like they didn't bother to look. Like someone reported it. Maybe they had it. Like they didn't bother to look. They just went, "All right, well, like 50 people reported the same thing, so it must be true." 2-week ban. They didn't bother to look or gather any evidence or anything. They just fucking.
I mean,
swung that band hammer.
I get like there are like hundreds and thousands of broadcasters and you have to fucking check all of them. But
yeah, but he's not a nobody, dude. He's not a nobody. He's partnered and
yeah.
He's probably one of the bigger PUBG names. Like he's not just how would I even explain this? Like say a smaller partner like oh, fuck.
So he's a figurehead.
Like Twitchy or Red.
Yeah.
Dude gets thousands of fucking viewers. I don't know whether he does anymore, but he used to. He used to be very big in
He's no
PUBG.
joke.
No. He's not. That's what I mean. He's big enough, I feel, to warrant some sort of 5-minute look into it to verify what the fuck happened, not just all right, okay, we'll ban him then for 2 weeks.
And I think a lot of people would be like, oh, well, why doesn't he get treated the same? Why doesn't everyone get investigated? It's like, well, the manpower required to investigate every single ban, like to a crazy degree, would be insane, right? But Twitch doesn't even reach like if there are 5 levels and level 5 is like investigating everyone completely, Twitch doesn't scratch 2, right? There's so many examples where it's been like here's the thing. There's 2 things there's this concept in law, right, which should be applied to other rule implementing organizations, right? Because funnily enough, it's been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and a bunch of stuffy old white blokes have been thinking about this shit for a really long time. And funnily enough, they've got a fair bit of it worked out pretty well, right? And one of the things that they talk about is an idea that the law has to be just, but it has to also be seen to be just, right? And you need both of those things for it to work, right? So not only do you have to be doing the right thing consistently, the public has to have the opinion that you're doing the right thing relatively consistently, right? There's always going to be a decision where people are like, oh, this is bullshit, blah, 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 blah. But that's generally they have to say, okay, well, they followed the rules. Like, that's the idea. For Twitch, I feel like this is so easy because one of the things is they talk about is like context matters. Context matters. It's like, okay, great. But one of the really, 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 really simple examples that you can use, take from the legal industry, is precedent, right? It's not that hard. All you do is you record all of the reasons and circumstances for which someone was banned, and then if those same circumstances come up, you need to differentiate from that example to get a different result. Otherwise, they should achieve the same result, right?
Yep.
Like that's independent of partner, affiliate, blah, 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 unless it's like, a partner specific abuse of the rule. I don't know how you would do that, but like, maybe you uploaded emotes instantly with your partner cred and those emotes were like turbo racist or something. I don't know. But the point that I'm trying to make is this is so easily solved by having just a body of precedent bans, right, that people can look into. And it's not even that particularly difficult. You just need a team of 5 people, right? And at this stage, the rate that Twitch has been going, they could be at it for like months to years, right? Not including the work that they have upcoming. But just being able to say like, okay, streamer, Blue Ball Joystick was banned for saying the N-word on stream, right? He said it whilst singing along with a song. That includes it. It's a Kanye track, right? But he but he's very enthusiastic about it. Okay?
Right? It doesn't matter. Maybe he just likes the fucking song. I don't think, no.
But this is what I'm saying. So he gets banned for 2 days, right?
Yep.
Then you have another streamer comes along and they have like Twitch Sings or something, right? And the same song comes on and then they see the N-word, they drop it and then they go, oh shit, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean that, right? If you have that precedent available, you go, right, this person got banned for 2 days, okay? So the community goes, this person should be banned for 2 days, right? In Twitch's position, right, your starting point is this person is banned for 2 days. And then you differentiate from there. So you go, they didn't do this. They didn't know this song, right? So we're reducing the ban to a day, right? Now, you may not necessarily agree with that logic, right? But it's very, very clear that what they're doing is they're trying to follow the rules. Yeah? To a certain extent, right? They're obviously saying that context matters. That is not hard. That is not hard. And it's not like bans are private information either, right? It's not like you're entitled to have the details of your ban obscured from the public. You're already on, you're getting banned for shit that you do in a public forum. There should just be a note instead of making it look like their account doesn't exist anymore. Leave it there, lock it down a bit, and just put like a notice at the top of the page. Yep.
This streamer is banned for X amount of time for Y reason. And then if you want to, you click on learn more.
Yep.
And they'll give you more information about why. Because then people don't ask questions. People don't fucking flip out about it and start spamming Twitch support on Twitter and just make it easy for yourselves, for fuck's sake.
Literally, just make it easy for yourselves. I mean, I have to assume that...
I'm going to interrupt you for a sec. I got an email while you were talking.
Oh.
Subscription cancellation notification. Your subscription to Dr. Disrespect Monthly was cancelled on 27th of June.
What? No way. They're actually cancelling his subs?
Yeah.
Dude.
You should probably check
I gotta check my email, yeah. That's insane. Well, actually, wait, no, we knew this. This was back when I think NMP tested this, which is if you ban... Oh, wait a minute. No, that's on the reverse. They tested it that if you ban someone from chat, their sub gets scrubbed. We knew that. They had to resub. But now if the streamer gets banned, the subs are deleted?
Well, I didn't think so. So that means... Maybe it does mean that they're cutting ties completely.
This is weird. You know what? It almost feels like a jump. It almost feels like it almost feels like the doc's about ready to jump ship.
Yeah, but he signed 2 years.
That's what's so weird about it. What the fuck's going on?
Maybe he found a way to break his contract, and Twitch is even more sore about it than they were with Ninja.
I don't know how sore you can be. I feel like streaming porn to a guy that markets himself to children.
Oh, they didn't do that. Come on, they didn't fucking.
I mean,
you know what? Fuck that guy. We're gonna show dicks on his channel.
I mean,
they didn't do that. Fuck's sake.
But
yeah, dude, this is Jesus, it's getting fucking weird. I don't know. I guess we'll see. See, this is the other thing. If we were both like, do you want to record this morning? Man, I'm tired. I stayed up too late. I was up at 1 a.m. eating nuggets with ranch.
You actually went for the ranch.
Yeah, of course I did. What do you mean went for the ranch? I have a fucking a 1 liter bottle that I bought from Costco.
Oh my God.
Of ranch dressing. I absolutely went and got 24 nuggets, and the chick was like, "What sauces would you like?" I was like, "None." She's like, "You don't want any sauce?" "No, thanks." And there's just silence on the other. It was the most awkward silence I've ever had in a drive-through before. She's just like,
okay.
what the fuck's wrong with this guy?
I already have.
All right, you want your dry nuggets? Fucking enjoy then, I guess, you fucking weirdo.
Got a gallon of ranch.
I had
back
to
at
make it
home.
worse, though. I had to make her more awkward.
No.
She's like, would you like anything else? I was like, yes, please. Could I have a large chocolate sundae as well? So the implication
But
is
you
that,
were
no, I
gonna
don't want any sauces. I don't even want a sundae. I just wanted her to be confused and weirded out. Like, what the fuck? Why is this man here at 12:30 ordering these things?
You know,
All the fucking weirdos come out at night.
I was about to say, you know, that's probably not the weirdest things you saw on that shift. Being a
No, probably not.
Macca's drive-through.
It was the Kwinana Maccas too, so they'd see some shit, man. It's
a time.
I feel bad for the BP staff there. I hope they're higher paid than most other areas, because fucking hell. There's a BP and a Macca's like right next to each other, basically.
That's dangerous.
In Kwinana. Oh, dude. The fucking shit that must happen there. And it's right next to a bus stop too. So like all the shit hangs around the bus
It's an
stop.
epicenter of grubbery. It just doesn't make any sense.
I don't know who planned this out, but they're like, you know what? These three things that always have just the absolute scum of the earth hanging around them, let's put them right next to each other and just see what happens.
It's just like maybe what it is it's like,
fuck it, let's place an abortion clinic across the road from the church.
Maybe it's the city planner just like minimizing patrol areas for the coppers. Like the coppers just know they're like, okay,
guys,
just stick
just
2
circle
cars
around these 3 places. Yeah. Just circle around them. Like anything that does happen, it's going to be here. You don't have to go far.
You know, 3 cars that'll go around the entire city and 2 cars parked right near this spot.
Yeah.
Easy. Sorted. Solved.
Oh, fuck.
Holy moly. So,
but yeah, what was I saying? So because we're recording now, if we had let this simmer for another day or 2, there might have been more information.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I just wanted to do this one on time.
I feel like we've got an
I want to
obligation
be releasing
to
a
do it on
podcast
time.
on Wednesday again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll tell you what has been developing over the past week is the method business. They were hit. Particularly hard by these assault allegations coming out, because a lot, like surprise, all of these allegations are coming out against people with incredibly poor social skills, and it just so happens that the WoW community has a very high percentage of people like this. So, Method is a professional World of Warcraft team. Their whole thing is around getting like world first raid completions. Like that's their.
Oh yes, I do. Yeah, I do know who they are.
That's their whole shindig. When WoW Classic was released, they were competing for the world first level 60, and they were beaten by a guy called Joker D. Joker D was subsequently like partnered overnight. I think it was like his second day streaming, and he got partnered because he just streamed his race to rank 60. And then Method ended up bringing him on board to play for like Method and a team. And they were out doing a raid, which is like end game content for World of Warcraft. You coordinate with like 40 other people and try and take down a boss. And, you know, you try and get like super rare loot. And I'm not super familiar with the mechanics of how like WoW loot distribution and hierarchy goes, right? But basically there's like an order or a system to loot distribution once everyone's taken down the boss, right? There's never enough loot to go around everybody, so there's always a system. Like the raid leader will distribute it amongst the other people. And Joker did what's called ninja looting, which is where you just walk up to the boss and just take all of the shit and then piss off. So I think Joker took like a very important staff or something like that, and then pissed off, and he was kicked out of the organization in 2 days. Right? Literally, like, I think he was put on the team, and then 3 days later he was kicked off because he just took a staff.
Yep.
Right? So, after that, after these assault allegations came out, there were a couple of people. One guy, Method Josh, was particularly infamous for doing this kind of shifty sort of stuff, right? And apparently people in the org had known about it for quite a while, like close to 2 years, right? And all of a sudden, as soon as these allegations came up, it was kind of just amplified by this idea that they had banned or gotten rid of a bloke in 2 days because he took a staff in a video game, but it took them 2.5 years to get rid of a bloke who was potentially sexually dangerous. And so they ended up like copping a lot of flack for it. And then like the co-CEO got an allegation levied against him. A big streamer called Swifty, who I don't think is related to Team Method, but he had an NPC in World of Warcraft named after him, and that NPC has now been like straight up yeeted out of the game. Like he's just gone. Mm-hmm. But Method as an org is just collapsing. So they have like all of their sponsors and whatnot, and they've seen this sort of just mass exodus of anybody affiliated with Method because everyone's like, I gotta wipe my hands of this shit.
Yeah,
like I can't.
Exactly. Well, I mean,
I can't touch it. And so NMP, who is huge, he left. Like 10, 12, I think that I saw it on Twitter. Other people affiliated with Method left. There's a partnership with Wowhead, and Wowhead said, "This is pretty good." Until the HR section of Method is unrecognizable from its current form, we are terminating this partnership. Which is insane. Sponsors, as a result, have had to leave. And a lot of people are saying, oh, man, you know, Method's dying, Method's done. I don't necessarily believe that. I think Method's already dead. This is a fatal wound. You can't, unless you completely oust your entire upper sector, so your CEOs, CFOs, your entire HR department, your brand marketing people, and replace them with entirely new people, the org won't go on.
Yeah, but who can do that? Like, the people at the top have to do that. That's like,
exactly right.
They're the ones in charge of it, so they're not going to go through and remove themselves and anyone else who was in the wrong, because if they already knew about it...
Yeah. Far more likely is they will splinter and reform in other orgs.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. They'll just split up, and then there'll be 2 or 3 at least other groups.
Yeah, so that's but it's quite interesting because Method is to World of Warcraft what something like FaZe or 100 Thieves is to the first person shooter area. Like, this is not like a small org. Method is the WoW team, and they've just been obliterated by this. And you have a lot of people with differing opinions on the subject. Like, some people are like, oh, this stuff is happening about unproven allegations, blah, blah, blah. And,
wonder how long before something similar happens with FaZe.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Come on. I mean, the funny thing is, like, I feel like weirdly enough, I feel like the FPS guys are like the Chads of the Twitch industry. Like, the FPS guys might be better socialized than the WoW guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a look.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that they're any less likely to be like...
Yeah, but I mean, you have a look at... Yeah.
There's still shitheads around.
Oh, yeah.
There's still...
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, Tom Syndicate had allegations levied against him, and that guy's bloody fully functioning, So, I mean, look, apparently there's something pretty severely wrong with him if you read some of the allegations, but I mean...
That's what I was about to say. Like, fully functioning doesn't...
Yeah, he's not... Yeah, but that's more of a power dynamic. There's a recurring theme of people just being socially inept and not understanding what they're doing, which is bullshit, right? But, this is what I think you tend to see with Method. I think a lot with the Dota guys as well. Like, the Dota guy... Have you seen the one with Zyril or whatever that guy's name is? Zywu?
No, I don't pay attention to those kind of games.
Oh,
man.
he's like... my favorite part about it is he had an alligator, like Ash. You know Ashley Christ. I think I've mentioned her on the podcast before. She's like a stream tips advice person, right? She's sort of does what Harris Heller does, but like, with no offense to Ashley, Harris does it better, right? She had this whole thing where she talked about how she got invited for like a cosplay event or something like that, and they stayed in a hotel together and they didn't sleep together, and then they got invited back. She got invited to another event and they ended up sleeping together, and she wasn't about it. She felt like she got pressured, right? What I found incredible about that story is the first time where she refers to them, being in the same bed but not sleeping together, is he then asks if he could like tell the guys back in his hotel room that they did sleep together. And the reason that he provides is they're such he's going to have to go back and they're going to be like, oh, did you sleep? Did you bang? Did you fuck? And he just doesn't want to have to deal with that pressure. And it was the most bullshit excuse I have ever heard. You go back to the room and you're like, oh, the boys are going to ask me a whole bunch of questions. So what? Like suck it up, dude.
I think for some people, it's hard to lie about that stuff though. Like they to try and keep that a secret is difficult for them. So I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but like I've seen similar situations before where people are like, I need you to be okay with me telling people about this because I don't think I'm going to be able to keep it secret, and I don't want to cause problems or feel bad about this.
So they didn't sleep together. He asked if he could lie to them.
Oh, okay. He asked if he could lie about it. Okay. Yeah, I thought you were saying the opposite. I was going to say.
That's different. He's saying, I'm going to get a bunch of questions. I need to lie that we slept together so that I can preserve my fucking sanity.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's very weird. It's very weird.
No, that's wanting to. Yeah, I don't know. That's wanting to be like, fuck yeah, man. And nothing.
Exactly. That is not the boys. That is not the boys. That is no the boys. That is nah the boys. That is nah the boys is what that is. Hey man, halftime.
Do you want a cup of coffee that makes Red Bull look like watered down juice?
Do you want a coffee that'll fuck you up harder than the last week is fucked method?
Do you want a cup of coffee that'll actually ruin you for instant coffee forever?
Well, do you want a cup of coffee that's basically a can of Popeye's spinach?
I haven't watched Popeye in fucking ages.
Yeah, well, Killer Coffee won't do any of those things, but it's a damn good cup of coffee. How are you going with your
I don't know, dude. It actually will ruin instant coffee for you, I think.
Oh, I mean, anything.
I can't touch it anymore.
For you, I think. I mean, it's not. That's not. I think that's a low bar. Don't get me wrong. Killer Coffee is pretty.
So. I've had Macca's coffee before, and I still went back to instant. And I was like, yeah, this is actually better than that horrible fucking trash.
Rip. Yeah, no, Killer Coffee. It's
How
really
am I
good
going
stuff.
with mine?
It's really, really good stuff. And they're Australian made, so super, super cool. I had a bunch of people ask me, the mic that both you and I use is a Rode Procaster, right?
Yes.
And I have people that have talked to me and they've been like, hey man, I've heard you on stream. Like, what mic do you use? And I'm like, a Rode Procaster, right? Because most of what I've learned about audio, engineering and fucking audio systems has basically been through you, right? That's where most of my knowledge has come from. A little bit from Harris Heller. But mostly from you, right? Most of my setup is all done up with your guidance because I hopped on a Discord call and you were like, right, this sounds like us, let's fix it. And I've been like, okay. Kind of. And so I tweak the knobs. And over time, I've garnered an appreciation for, how each part of the system works. But people will come up and they're like, oh, what mic should I get? And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, do you have a high voice or a low voice? Because it might affect whether you want to do a condenser or a dynamic microphone. And do you have a noisy room or do you have a quiet room? And more often than not, I end up, it's because video games, it's dudes and I'm by myself, so it's a quiet room. And I'm like, well, you can go either way, but I use a Rode Procaster. And I had a mate of mine, G'day Maverick, right? And he's very, very good at Runeterra. He's the current rank 1 in North America. He was the rank 1 on the EU server last season. So very, very good player. and he ordered the same microphone I've got, Rode Procaster, and he was like, and the cool part was he was like, oh, it's Australian, Pog, and I was like, yeah, like Rode's an Australian company, which was just like is such a feels good man moment, because it's like we do something good, Jim. in the technological sphere, we've done a good.
I don't know if we can take credit for that company doing something good. But
I'm not saying that we take credit. I'm just saying I'm proud. Like, can you think of the number of Australian companies that are doing like big things in the fucking internet sphere? I mean, other than the team that was doing like Borderlands 2 or 3.
Well, they got closed, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't have a lot of guys out there doing cool Australian things. I mean, the most recent one we had was bloody Mick Gordon. Like, that's about it. And even he's out of the picture now.
Yeah, that fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah. I mean, like, there is nothing that gets you, like, more hyped than, you know, songs like Rip and Tear and The Only Thing They Fear Is You. It's just so good. And chat will still ask me today to play BFG Division. Like, I'll be on stream and they'll just be like, BFG. I'm like, okay. Because I'm down for it. It'll be like 1 a.m. and all I want to do is listen to like lo-fi beats and chill out. And chat's like, Doom! It's a complete opposite end of the spectrum.
They want to see you so awake at 1 a.m. They want to see you listening to like the audio version of Killer Coffee.
Let's hit the audio. That's Doom. The audio version of Killer Coffee. It's pretty. Yeah. It's.
I don't know that much, dude. Like I just did a bunch of research and I was like, all right, well, for this budget, this seems like kind of the best overall setup for this particular setting.
But musicians and stuff generally have a better appreciation for how some of this equipment might work.
Well, I hate my stuff sounding shitty. Like I hate going back and seeing my VODs or like my recordings and I was like, wow, I can hear that echo. I can hear that bouncing off that wall behind me. I can hear things happening in the background. I fucking hate it. I can't stand it. And I mean, I remember at first you were like, I feel like you were slightly, I don't know whether you were slightly offended that I was like, your mic is garbage. But at the same time, it's like, did you make the mic? Is it your creation? No. So why do you care?
No, I remember very specifically you said, it sounds like you have an excellent radio voice, but it's being cucked by your garbage mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember being there and being like,
okay.
Thank you.
But I mean, it was, I don't know. It was like, I can tell that if your mic was upgraded, it would do a lot to improve, I think, your...
And you're right. If you go back and look at like some of my earlier streams, like even my first one, I'm using the mic in a pair of iPod headphones. Like
I've seen that footage. It's like,
it's pretty rough.
The fuck is this?
It's good. I got a vertical webcam as well. I managed to like crop it and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know what the fuck you were doing.
Yeah. I was just like, look at my unique positioning.
Look, that's not a bad idea, depending on like how you have your setup.
It's
done, and it does take up less space on your screen as well if you stream. So it's
almost like a
little bit more of the game.
It's almost like a budget green screen effect in a way. Because that's what you do with the green screen. You kind of minimize how much you're taking up.
Yeah. I feel like that was that was something that if I didn't do that, you probably would have left it for ages, and then you would have gone like, well, what does everybody else get? Oh, looks like I'm buying a Blue Yeti. And then like every single noise in the background and outside would have been picked up by your mic.
Yeah, and now that I'm in Mount Isa, you guys would hear the fucking huge mining blasts that happen at like
explosions
8 PM.
And shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
This is why I tell anyone who'll fucking listen, like, please, if you have noise in the rest of your house or anywhere or outside or whatever, just get a dynamic.
Yep.
I know it's a little bit more expensive. It is. But if you're gonna drop like $200 on a fucking mic,
you might as well do it properly.
Just put another $20 or $30. Get a podcast, get a Rode podcaster, and get like the little 3-channel Behringer fucking mixer, whatever it is. It's like the same one we've got, but the smaller version.
There's like
that's all
there's
you
like
need.
the budget bracket, and then there's like the I'm pretty serious about this bracket, and then there's like the best of the best bracket. And I mean, like if you're just in the same bracket,
I mean, best of the best is like a fucking SM7B and you know all that sort of shit. If you spend, you're spending over $1,000 by that point on. Because it's going to be, what are they now? They're like 700 something, or are they $800 now? They went up again recently.
Yeah, they're a lot.
SM7Bs are like $700-800. And then you need a cloud lifter. Usually you'll need a cloud lifter for it, I think, to get the most out of it, which is another $150 or $200.
A lot
by itself. And then a mixer or a fucking an interface to plug it into.
Yeah.
You're over $1,000 by that point. Like that's someone like Red Ops, sure. Makes sense. Partnered, streaming full time, 100%. You want to
get a
like
decent
the best
mic
sound quality you can get. Someone like me, no, I don't care. Like I care enough to have decent gear,
but not to spend that much because it's diminishing returns.
Not to spend that much. That money for me would be better spent on, and I am going to spend it on these things. Another interface to plug the guitar into, its own dedicated interface, because the one I have it plugged into at the moment is the same one my mic goes into, and because
crossfeed.
Yes, it will into Discord and on OBS. For some reason, Cubase can separate the two inputs, like the left and right channel, and it will take only like the right channel, which is where it's plugged into, and then feed that back out as a stereo signal. But OBS can't. It can't separate the left and right inputs. The only option you have is to downmix both inputs to mono.
Well, that sucks.
So what stream would be hearing if I tried to play guitar on stream right now, what they would hear would be my mic, normal, the same way it always has been now. But they'd also hear like just the raw guitar input with no effects, no amp or cab sims or anything, like just basic electric guitar with nothing. So it's just like a clean guitar signal, nothing. And then because I'd be capturing the output from the Scarlett as well, you would also hear the guitar signal after all the processing that's been done to it. So the amp and cab sims, any effects, all that sort of shit. So it would be weirdly doubled and it would sound fucking horrible.
Yeah, no, that sounds awful.
So for me, the money's better spent on another interface, all this other stuff that accomplishes what I want, because what I'm using right now is good enough.
Yeah.
I'm happy with this sound quality.
Yeah.
And I don't think, aside from every now and then when, for some reason, the interface just decides it doesn't exist anymore or Windows can't see it or whatever, aside from that, I don't really get complaints about the way my mic sounds.
Nah, your mic's pretty top notch. I mean, a lot of the audio on your stream was mixed really well, so it's good.
It's been a long fucking process. There's still improvements I could make, but
that's like one of the things as well I get with a lot of people in chat. They're all like, "Man, how do you get your stream to look so good?" And I'm like, probably like 10 or 11 weekends of just just solid sitting here tinkering. Like people are like, "Oh man, that transition's so smooth." It's like, yeah, it's so smooth because I spent like 2-3 hours like getting the seconds and half seconds just right so that it moves correctly.
For something that you see on stream for like 2 or 3 seconds at a time.
Yeah, like the Stinger, like to build that originally probably took me 3-4 hours. Like it's very simple, but you do it, you troubleshoot, you have to export it. Like sometimes some of that doesn't work.
It would be an interesting conversation, I think, to have. Sorry to cut you off there, but so I'm pretty sure iHoleman is actually an audio engineer.
That would be very cool.
So we could bring him on and talk to him about basically visual versus audio.
Yeah.
Because he's probably saying the same mindset as me, where I feel like audio is more important because people look away from your stream sometimes to do other shit. So, but they can hear it more or less the whole time. Whereas you, I think, are more focused on the visual side of things. You like things to look nice, look pretty, and very particular about your colors and shit. Whereas I'm, right now I'm sitting here with a fucking A denim shirt draped across the back of my chair. You can see boxes in the background in the fucking cupboard that have been stashed away. Cat's fucking licking herself behind me. Like, my old chair's there with the guitar sitting on it, one of the project guitars.
Meanwhile, I'm
fucking cables loading my desk.
I'm tweaking the fucking luminance on my key light and tolerance in my green screen key.
Fucking sad looking, almost empty bottle of single malt here.
I've actually got like an aluminium wine bottle here that I use for like a water bottle, and people on chat have been asking me, they're like, is that wine? And I'm like, no, this is water.
That's the other thing. So this kind of feeds into that. Your desk, I don't know that I've seen your desk on stream ever. It's always hidden. Whereas mine, I'm like, yeah, look at all my shit all over the place.
Yeah, well, that's because your camera angle is the benefits that approach.
It's intentional though. I don't know why I wanted this.
My desk is a bit of a mess. Like the right side of my desk has next to nothing on it, like because that's where my ultra wide monitor sits. So I don't have a lot of room around it. Like it's got an arm that brings it over my desk, but to get at shit behind or underneath it, I'd have to kind of maneuver strange. So there's like nothing there because nothing's easily in reach. Most of the stuff's on the left side where my 16:9 panel is like in portrait mode, like my chat monitor. And yeah, right now there's like a 1.2 liter Sprite bottle, my Procaster box, a plate, a burger box, some scissors, hair wax, like blue hair wax. And then there's like a little figurine. Like it's just kind of a fucking mess. Like I would try and clean it, but it's like I have a lot of desk space as well. My desk is really big. It's like 100.
I have a lot of shit on my desk that I need in the middle of a stream. Like I need to be able to reach it.
Yeah. My desk is also quite deep as well. Like I'm pretty sure if I like put my like armpit against this front edge of my desk, I don't think I'd be able to grab the back.
Oh yeah, I definitely can't.
Yeah.
This is one of those big triangle.
Oh, yeah. Like a corner desk almost.
It is the corner desk, but it's also like one of the ones that are really deep. Like
I see.
It goes way back.
Yeah. I gotcha.
So that gives me a bit more space to like stuff the mixer and shit like underneath. Like it's directly in front of me, but it's underneath my main monitor, so it's kind of out of the way.
You know what I would love to see with iHole Man is I would love if we told him like ahead of time. So if you're listening to this, iHole Man, we'd love to have you on. One of the things I would love to see, right, is if he's an audio engineer, is how he would set up like a dream stream setup. Like how he would sort that out and tinker with that.
I think, oh man, I've kind of considered here and there asking him like, dude, do you mind coming over sometime and giving like a once over of my setup to see if I fucked anything up? I know there's going to be so many things here where he's like, why have you done this? What the fuck is this? Like, your gain staging's horrible. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like, well, I mean, I kind of do, but I also don't care enough to fucking get it 100% correct. I'm just going to it works, so I'm just going to leave it.
You've done it when like the professional comes over and the first thing they say is, huh? Like, they gotta figure out exactly what you've done. But I have another thing that I want to mention, Titan, because I did some research this week because I saw something that is like incredibly up my alley, right? Because there is a lawsuit involving Twitch. And as both a streamer and a lawyer, I took it upon myself to do some investigating and see what I could find out.
Yep.
Right? Now, for those of you that have not heard about this Twitch lawsuit, it's fucking hilarious. Okay? And I say that both as a lawyer and as a streamer. Okay? To put it in the simplest terms possible, a man by the name of Eric Estavillo, is suing Twitch to the tune of $25 million. He's also claiming a certain injunctive relief. I'll get to that in a second. For basically forcing him to masturbate to a dangerous degree. That's the claim.
That's
the claim. So what is happening is he's basically said that he's been... Okay, well, I can read you here. It says, the plaintiff has been a Twitch Prime and Turbo subscriber for years now, whom also suffers from depression, OCD, panic disorder, agoraphobia, and Crohn's disease. So the man is a shut-in to the nth degree, right? Because of these maladies, he heavily relies on the internet for all his entertainment purposes, as well as many others do during this difficult time. And due to the COVID-19 pandemic, many people... Now, this is capitalized, by the way, right? This next part. Have to stay at home for entertainment. And then it returns to ordinary grammar. And are quarantining themselves, including the particularly vulnerable children. So basically he says, blah, 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 blah. He has sex addiction due to his OCD that makes him obsessed with sex and compulsions. Twitch has extremely exacerbated his condition by displaying many sexually suggestive women streamers through Twitch's twisted programming and netcode, making it nearly impossible for the plaintiff to use Twitch without being exposed to such sexual suggestive content.
The netcode.
The
netcode caught me off guard.
Yep.
It made me look at Pokemon's ass, and now I can't stop touching myself.
Legitimately, that's like part of his claim. He's like he can't filter by gender. So what he'll do is he'll hop on Twitch, and then he'll see some boobs. He's like, oh well, fuck, that's it. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. And so he has like it legitimately in the claim references the fact that he has a fleshlight that he uses to the point where he has to medicate himself so that like the tip of his dick doesn't become necrotic. Like, it's full on. It's insane. And what is best about it, right, is like it doesn't stop there. Like, oh, you know what? There's so many good things to this. I'm gonna keep unpacking this because it literally just keeps getting better and better. Right.
I always thought like if you keep playing with it, it'll fall off was just like a joke thing. But what you just described is exactly that.
Yeah, it's literally that.
I fucking flogged it so hard that my fucking knob's gonna.
It's literally
fall
it will turn green, then black, and then fall off. That is exactly what will happen. Yeah. So
no.
So then the complaint goes on to say Estavillo, who is following 786 female streamers. Do you know how many male streamers he's following?
Probably none.
Zero. Legitimately zero. 786 female streamers, 0 male streamers, saying that argues the site doesn't offer a way to filter streamers by gender. Therefore, he's forced to choose a game and or category to watch with thumbnails showing this scantily clad women.
Filter. You can just
right?
You can just look for them.
Yes, exactly right. And then he also talks about how you can subscribe, donate, or pay bits to these women streamers. Twitch uses this immediate gratification reward system against their sexually addicted viewers, no different than how a casino would, right? Weird champ, to be completely honest, right? Now, the best part... Oh, God, I keep saying the best part, but it just keeps getting fucking good. It's so good.
The other best part...
He legitimately the other best part. He legitimately lists a bunch of streamers that he wants permanently banned from the platform. So he's got two claims. One is 2.25 million in punitive damages. Punitive damages, by the way, is like not as compensation for loss suffered to him, but as a punishment to Twitch, right? As like the slap on the wrist that says, don't do it again, put those boobs away, right?
Okay.
And he says he wants 25 million in punitive damages to be split between the plaintiff and other Twitch Prime Turbo subscribers, right? Turbo is that little system you get like a battery, I think, in your like as like a chat badge, which by the way, he doesn't specify which Twitch Turbo subscribers are getting the money, by the way, which is a massive, massive error insofar as the claim is concerned. And with any monies left over, you don't even specify the fucking distribution, but that's fine. Any monies left over from your unknown distribution to your unknown people to be donated to both COVID-19 and Black Lives Matters charities. Why you've never even remotely mentioned racism.
What has that got to do with
it makes no sense. Not only that, but punitive relief is ordinarily paid to the state. Like, compensation's ordinarily paid to the fucking complainant. There are certain circumstances where that's not the case, right? But yeah, it could depend on the jurisdiction as well. So you know what? Maybe I'll say in my experience, generally punitive is paid to the state. His list of streamers, of which that have contributed to his horrible, horrible condition, include such big names as Amaranth, ST Peach, Pink Sparkles, Little Chipmunk, Christy Pride, Gavrilka, Mizzy Rose, K-Pike Fashion, Alinity, Cutie Cinderella, Pokimane, Velvet 7, and Loser Fruit. I didn't think Loser Fruit was a major offender, if I'm being completely honest.
I've heard the name. I don't know who.
She's a Australian Fortnite content creator.
Oh, okay.
So, but she's not at all from what I've...
So basically the guy's complaint is...
Yes.
I can't stop wanking.
Yeah.
Twitch, it's your fault because these women are just too irresistible for me. And also, I don't know that free porn exists on the internet or that camgirls. If you need the interaction, the camgirl sites exist. It's just so many of them.
It gets better.
So, go on. I'm literally wanking my dick off and it's your fault, Twitch.
Wait, it gets better. He legitimately cites an occasion in the claim where, as a result of engaging in this masturbatory behavior, afflicted by Twitch's ecosystem, he ejaculated onto a PC and caused a short circuit. So he ruined his PC. And he busted a nut. And he's like, you know what? This is Twitch's fault.
Busted a nut, busted my PC.
It's so good.
Is this real?
Well,
it can't be real.
this is the thing, right? It is real, right? It is an absolutely real lawsuit. I went and had a look, and it is filed and everything, right? However, this is not the first.
Imagine RMAing that. What's wrong with the Asus customer support? Yeah, my motherboard's broken. All right, what's the problem? I think there was a short on it. Okay. How did this happen? I came onto it.
Just come. That's it.
Look, we'll replace your motherboard. Never contact us again. Please never buy another one of our products if you're going to ejaculate onto them. Our products, this is going to be like the warning for the iPod Shuffle that said, do not eat iPod Shuffle. Please do not ejaculate onto your graphics card or motherboard or any other electronic device.
God forbid he hits the fan, because then it's just...
Please do not ejaculate onto open circuitry.
So this guy clearly not having the best time of his life, right? Now, young Mr. Estevilo, right? Now, I vaguely remember years ago being 15 and 16.
I'm sorry, I need to throw one more.
Go on.
I just imagine this guy with his PC like up on his desk, like off to the side somewhere. Yeah. And there's like those little cuts like in the side, like the air vents. And somehow he's just full on fucking Peter North shot across the fucking into the fucking vents, into his PC. Like, how the fuck did this guy... How did this happen? How did he come into his PC?
It like almost defeats his like, I'm a disabled person, because that's an athletic feat at that point. he's got a job in the industry.
Maybe I should masturbate more and I can see how far I can ejaculate. See if I can start shooting it across the fucking room like this guy. Holy shit.
I'm going to ruin all my property. Just busting some fat nuts. Now... Mr. Estevilo has been involved in claims before, funnily enough. Turns out this guy is not particularly new. And this is what I thought was particularly interesting, is he has been on the disability pension for years on years on years. And 10 years ago, or thereabouts, he had currently 4 separate lawsuits running simultaneously. 1 with Microsoft, 1 with Nintendo, and 2 with Sony. 1 in both federal and state court. Oh, excuse me. So 1 with Microsoft, 1 with Nintendo, 1 with Sony, and 1 with Activision Blizzard. Right? Now, Think for a second and think what all of those companies have in common.
They all make games.
They all make games.
Guess,
that is the Xbox, the PS, PlayStation, then Nintendo console. I don't know. In 2010, that might have been the GameCube. GameCube would be too early. That'd be the Wii, the original Wii. Yeah. And Activision Blizzard, the PC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he sued them for anywhere between $180 to $1 million, depending on each case. And
$180. Okay.
He's basically done this lawsuit to make a point, right? But one of the really, really cool things that I found, and this is the part that I think you're going to enjoy, is Engadget, which was or still is, I suppose they're still running, reported on this and actually sat down for an interview with this bloke, right? And it's absolutely awesome. It's so good. So he says, they ask him on his lawsuits. He says, I don't have any outside the game industry. Just one lawsuit for each major console maker and one for the PC. So there's 4 total, right? They talk about what games he plays, which I'm going to skip over because it's pointless. He says, on why he's suing, why he plays online. I told this other interviewer, and it's true, I actually have no friends. If anyone wants to test that, they can check my phone records, cell phone or home phone, and find out that I don't call anyone and no one calls me. I rely on online gameplay for socialization. Imagine, you know what the first thing I thought when I read that was? It was weird flex. Imagine challenging someone to check your phone to make sure that you were telling the truth about having no friends. It just blows my mind.
Oh, no.
So then... he talks about how he talks about end user license agreements, which is part of the issue, right? And he says, I tried to invalidate that with Judge White in the first case, and he didn't want to hear it. There's a terms of service, takes care of refunds, and I still think people who are banned should be refunded for their downloadable content. Now, if you're listening, you're probably picking up on a theme here. For instance, I downloaded Warhawk. That's like $30, and I got PSN cards which were in excess of 100, maybe 150. So I said to the judge, can we at least be refunded? And he referred to the EULA, which is why I appealed that decision, because the judge didn't really give me a chance. He was already on Sony's side when I went in, and I could tell. Richard J. Mooney, the lawyer for Sony, just gave a simple, maybe a paragraph to the judge, and I tried to talk to the judge, and the judge just didn't want to hear it. He said, well, I agree with Sony, right? This, to me, right? So maybe somebody goes out there and goes, oh man, he didn't get to say his fair share, right? That's not the point. Right? If it's an extended discussion, that's because nobody has provided anything absolutely solid that solves the issue, right? When the discussion is like a paragraph long, it was a short discussion because Sony had everything that they possibly needed. You can't you can't say, oh, I didn't get a chance. You had a shit claim.
Shouldn't you have all that shit prepared for yourself before you go in there?
That's why people hire lawyers. A lot of people think that they're just going to get away with talking at a judge. But the fact of the matter is lawyers are paid absurd amounts of money because they do hours of research distilling things down, right?
Yeah.
That is a lawyer's job is literally gathering and synthesis of information. That's what your job is, 60, 70%. Yeah. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed, he said that he got banned and he wanted a refund. Sony banned his entire console. I'm pretty sure they banned my whole console, which is like a $500 waste there. So he literally sued Sony because he was salty they banned his console from online play.
What was he doing or saying that got him fucking banned?
That's another thing I would love to know. It's not in the interview, but
imagine someone saying,
yeah,
I think I should be I got put in jail for a week and I couldn't go to work and I didn't get paid. I think I should get some money back for that.
Yeah.
Why did you get put in jail?
Yeah.
Look, let's not address that. Yeah. Let's just ignore that. It doesn't matter. It's not important. I lost money because I went to jail.
Yeah. Now, what is particularly interesting is when you start a lawsuit, you actually have to file you have to pay fees to file documents, right? I think it's like 130 or something in Australia to file a statement of claim, right?
Yeah.
And the idea is that, you're paying for court registry time, for court resources, but to a certain extent, it's also ever so slightly has this effect of discouraging frivolous lawsuits, right? They usually deal with it through, mediation or alternative dispute resolution. This guy has been filing for fee waivers for every time that he goes to file a suit, right? Which is granted to you in certain circumstances when you can't afford to file it because he's on the disability pension. This bloke's been on the dole for like forever. So he says, since I'm not paying a lawyer, I represent myself in all my cases, so it costs zip. And then Joystick asks him, to be clear, you're unemployed. And he responds, correct, I'm on disability, right? He also talks about how WoW makes you feel lonely because it forces you to walk between certain locations, and that takes a very long time. And then that has a negative effect on games.
Play something else then.
It's fucking excellent, man. If you go back and have a look through all of his stuff, it's so good. But reading that, by the way, just that little button it says where I just represent myself because I can't afford a lawyer, it made me so happy. It made me so happy because one of the, have you ever watched someone do something that you do and you're like, man, that guy makes all of us look like fucking idiots. I have it all the time when when streamers get into trouble, right? Like when streamers do stupid shit like begging for subs and then people kind of give us shit. They're like, oh, you're all e-beggars. I'm like, I literally tell my stream, go and buy a Zinger stacker instead of subbing. Like I've done that the past few streams. I'm like, do not sub to me. Go buy yourself a burger. I'm self-sufficient. Yeah. Like just, follow the stream, share it with your mates if you want to support. Yeah. Don't sub, right? Like you spend it on a burger. Like obviously appreciate everybody that does, but I feel like I do that because I feel like the people who are on the fence, I want them to go and, just go buy food. Fuck it. Like the majority of people watching Twitch are like high school, uni age. Like you go get yourself a roll of sushi, man. You don't need a bunch of emotes. I mean,
I actually talked about it briefly. I mentioned it, but then we got into a raid, I think, so I had to stop talking about it. But I'm thinking about taking my emotes down, so that there's no reason to sub. If you really want to, you can, but you don't have to, and just put them all on
BTTV.
Fucking what's that stupid thing? Yeah. Because then if you want them, all you have to do is sort that out for yourself, and then there they are. You can't get to them from mobile, I don't think. But still,
which
they're there for whoever
exactly.
wants them. Because that's really the only thing you're getting out of it, I think.
I mean, look, if it's worth that to those people, then by all means, that's like the market decides, right? Like you don't need to bully people into doing that sort of stuff, and I don't think neither of us do that clearly, but it's just one of those things where I think.
Well, I've made jokes at people before. I think you were one of them where I made a joke. Fuck, what did they say? Something like, I can't remember how the joke came up, but I jokingly, I suppose, shamed them for not being subbed.
Oh,
but it was one of those jokes where I'm like,
and then they actually sub, and you're like, no, undo, Control Z.
No, I was like, no. I was joking. I'm making myself out to be an asshole. That's supposed to be the joke, that anyone who actually thinks that way is a piece of shit. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. And then they sub. I'm like, no, don't.
Yeah.
I don't care about that $4 that I'm going to get from that. I don't care. You're not.
I make a meme out of follows now. I'll give chat shit and I'll hard sell following the stream. But I don't do it for subs. I think once you get money involved, it's a little bit tricky. When you are a bigger content creator, you've got sponsors and merch and blah, 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 blah. There's an obvious sort of, prestige or worth that comes with a subscription there. Because you can brag to your other mates that also watch the same bloke. Or lady on Twitch, maybe you're not chronically affected and are putting your sexual health in danger by watching Twitch. But I think early on there's slightly less value, and I honestly genuinely think that in some circumstances the risk of being branded as an e-beggar early on can hurt you a fair bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like, when you look at it, because I looked at all this last week off stream. I got a Twitch payout and I was like, I forgot that.
Forgot the Twitch does that.
I was surprised. It's like, yeah, because I don't know, it had been a couple months or something. Usually it's like every second month, but then I was like, why are people still subbed to me? I haven't been streaming consistently.
Yeah, because you.
And I looked and I saw they still had a bunch. I was like, these people are throwing $9 a month away.
Yeah, but that could just be.
I'm getting like $4 of it.
It could just be because they're just not deactivating it. Like some people just don't do it.
Yeah, probably. It probably is. Quite a few people were like gifted subs and shit as well, so that would have all faded out. And because I'm not streaming, there's no more gifted subs, blah, blah, blah. So the number did drop quite a bit. But still, there was still a bunch of people that were still subbed to me. And I was just thinking, like, why? If I move all my emotes to BTTV, anyone who wants the emotes can have them. Nobody needs to sub to me. And instead of like having to hit $100 threshold, if people really want to throw that $9 at me, just send it through paper. Just donate it. Yeah. Just donate $5, or if you really want to do the 9, just go 10, go 9, go fucking $8.43. I don't fucking care. I don't need that money. I don't stream to get that money because it's not. Yeah. It's not an amount that I rely on. I don't rely on streaming for income. If I did, then I would be streaming consistently. I'd be streaming a lot more. I wouldn't have taken the fucking break that I have.
I think for me, it's you're right. Taking the break is like it's just, I think once you get past this whole, it's like, I don't need the money. Like, I don't want to feel people obligated to sub. Once you get over that hurdle, it's like obviously very, very happy if you want to sub, support the stream. All of my stream stuff gets funneled back into funding the stream, right? I have an editor now. Okay. I pay him pretty decent chunk of money. So like all of my stream goes back into feeding that, right? Because the idea is eventually my stream will become self-sufficient, right? If my stream is in a position where it can earn the money to just pay for the people that help me out, so people that make thumbnails, editing, for my equipment, yada, yada, then great. But my personal life is self-sufficient. Yeah. Like, I have a gig, I save money, I spend my money appropriately, I'm fine, right? Yeah. So it's like, it's just getting over that hurdle of, obviously you want your stream to grow, you want people to sub because then they'll have more notifications, they'll spread it with their mates, yada, yada. But I think, especially in some Twitch climates, you have to be so careful not to come out as an e-beggar until you're at the point where it's like ironically funny. Like how when people with like 30,000 viewers or something will be like Twitch Prime, they'll just find an excuse to say Twitch Prime. I kind of get that. Yeah. That's kind of like once it comes full circle. Anyway.
Comments?
Yeah, we should do that. We do that every week. Another long podcast.
I'm going to let you read crazies this time.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, why not really? It's an hour 10.
Yeah.
I got a bit of a surprise when I looked at Buzzsprout and I was like, oh, we can upload like 12 hours of content. I was like, oh, Hamish hasn't been uploading
I forgot. Yeah.
And you've been putting them in out of order too. I was like, oh, fuck, this just ruins like continuity for people. Fuck me.
Rip. So now you're gonna get in there and fix it.
I have to fix it somehow. I don't know how to fix the continuity thing. I don't know whether I can like reorder them or if I have to delete them off and then put them back up in the correct order. I don't know.
So Crazy says, lol, when you joke like that and don't have a line, you need self-control. Oh, it's this one, Ben, where
he's talking about me, yeah.
Here's your fucking Pringles can. FCID chat, boys. I doubt the bots in PUBG will take it away. The way it has worked for us mostly is the bots are just fillers until the end game section. That's when you have versus the decent players that have made it to the end. It lessens the running simulator part of it, I think. We talked about how scavs don't hold a large threat. Bullshit, mate. Those bastards have aimbot out the arse.
Yeah, well, I mean, you said that, not
That's
me.
true. When you guys were talking about ads using cover bands to play songs in their ads, it reminds me of the song Down Down by Status Quo. They reworked their lyrics to read Down Down, prices are down. It got to the point that people would ask them to play the Coles song out of curiosity. Do you get much traffic on Spotify? That's a good question. I think the majority of
I already checked. This is how I found that that BuzzFeed was all wrong.
Apple Podcast has the most listeners for the audio version. Wow.
Very, surprising.
There you go.
To me, at least.
I mean, shit. Hello to all you people listening on Apple Podcasts. Appreciate you. God damn. All right. Do you want to read Kicks or do you want to read iHoleMan's?
iHoleMan tried 2 comments and fucking YouTube deleted them.
Wow. Rip. Sorry, dude.
But I can see, like, in the notifications, I can see the comment that he tried to post.
Because we get the original notification about the post.
Yeah. So I'm going to read his original comment. Fuck you, YouTube. I'm going to read his original comment. You can eat a dick. No reply is necessary, guys. I just like to drop my 2 cents to add to the conversation. This time, my 2 cents is I crave the attentions of 2 bearded men. # no homo.
Thanks, iHoleMan. Well, look, man, we might have him on the podcast. We'll hit him up in the DMs and we'll see what he thinks. I understand he's
Kick posted something that last night, I think.
Yes. What does he say? D-Live was bought out.
Do you want me to do that one? Or?
Yep. No. Okay.
No, you do it.
D-Live was bought out essentially by a larger. So D-Live was a streaming service, and I said it had something to do with blockchain or Bitcoin or something like that.
I think it's still active. Yeah. It's just not like.
Yeah, well, it's just not. Yeah. Well, no, it was growing. We saw it was growing. Like it's still a thing. We just hadn't really paid attention. Yeah. So, Kick, being the crypto head that he is, has stepped in to provide some info. He says. D-Live was bought out essentially by a larger blockchain project and merged into their ecosystem. The BITS version of the currency used on the stream site was changed to another token, which is used in the new cryptocurrencies ecosystem. And people who stake that token get a percentage of all the amount. I think it's 20%, give or take. The affiliates of the service also get paid more than regular stakers, on top of the amount given by people in their actual streams. So instead of 50% of all the amount going to the owner, which is Twitch's scheme, for example, the 25% being a lower amount, they get to redonate or increase their stake. PewDiePie is back on YouTube after he was offered a contract there. Also, I noticed that mentioned there, Titan Winky Face. So,
yeah,
I didn't fucking understand a word of that.
I don't understand much of it either.
Completely straight.
I like... Whenever anyone brings up crypto stuff, Kicks just like cracks his knuckles, presses his glasses up and goes, listen up, lads.
Listen up.
And then fucking drops all this shit on us and we're like, Let's
have an
Listen
extension.
up, Bogans maybe is more appropriate because he knows what he's fucking talking about and he uses all these fucking terms that I don't understand. Half of them never heard before. I'm like, I don't know.
Sounds like you idiots need to learn about Dogecoin.
Yeah, like I'm sure what he is saying makes sense to people who understand that.
I'm sure it's correct as well. It's just, I don't know what the fuck he's saying.
But, like me describing to him, what I'm going to do to rewire this guitar and what setup I'm going to have in it. If he doesn't know anything about guitars, he's going to be like, that's all just words. I don't know what any of that means.
All right.
Thanks, though, Kick, for watching and for the long comment that I don't understand.
We appreciate it when you guys engage.
It's not that I don't appreciate it. I'm just dumb. That's all. I'm just stupid. Like...
That's about it. Are we going to do that whole wrap-up thing that we usually do?
I think so.
Right, well, do you want to read the Twitter handles and the Twitch handles? Huh?
And deprive you of that, of fucking my Twitter handle up? No.
Okay, well, in any event, you guys could yell at us on Twitter. It's going to be in the video or in the description because every time I read out the Twitter handles, I manage to fuck it up. I don't know how. You can also check us out on Twitch live at twitch.tv/T1, TAN5150 for Titan, or you can catch me at /ViscerusTV. There's also the YouTube version of the podcast. You can YouTube NULLSCORE and you can see our beautiful faces there, or you can check it out on all good audio platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts, apparently. Other than that, there's a website with it all up there, and hit us up in the comments. We'll talk about stuff that you guys want to mention. Anything else you need to add to that one, Jim?
Just Just be careful out there at those Twitch thoughts, mate. They're gonna trick you into wanking so much that your fucking knob turns necrotic and falls off.
The necroto cock.
Stay safe. Practice safe masturbation.
Be safe, kiddos. Don't wrap your PC.
Imagine how flogged out that guy's fleshlight must be. Buy new sleeves like every 2 weeks.
It's gotta look like a punched lasagna, dude.
Can't you replace the inserts?
No idea. He's probably just got some like shredded inserts strewn under his desk.
Go.
Okay, all right. Roll the outro, Eddie. I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Oh my god.
Just say a punched lasagna.
Punched lasagna, yeah.
What the fuck vagina have you seen that look like a punched lasagna? I'm just picturing like a big tray with a fist hole in it. Like...
You think that I could genuinely like come to some consensus on what this guy must have done? It's got to look like a dish glove graveyard underneath his desk, man.
Well, I mean, no, clearly he doesn't fucking use anything to cover up shit because he fucking burst into his PC and killed it.
I cannot believe.
He just blasts rope all over his room.
I can't believe that's actually a thing, dude. That is insane.
I wonder, I hope that he's like taken it to a computer shop and then they had to write a note. Like they had to write notes about what was wrong with the PC and they're like, oh yeah, this is what we found.
Jesus.
There was traces of semen on the motherboard.
Yep, that's it. That's the day that the tech.
Well, there's your problem.
The day the tech quits. That is easily the day the tech quits.
That's it.
Yeah, he's done.
He left that job and he's like, I would rather work at McDonald's than deal with this.
At least at McDonald's, we knew where the gun was.